Hey guys, it is Annika here from kingdomlifestyles.com. Today I am going to show you guys how to create your very own invoice. Okay, so a lot of people have many different ways of doing invoices. A lot of people just use Excel, or they may even use PayPal. I've seen so many different methods. But if you are artistic and you want to bring your brand into your invoicing, then I'm going to show you guys today just how easy Canva makes it. And this is why I say, guys, it is so worth it to get the premium, the pro package. It's only going to cost you 110 Rand a month. That's what it was the other day. We can actually take a look again. Kind of changes according to the USD to ZAR, because I'm obviously from South Africa, and that is a yearly fee that you can pay. It's 900 Rand a year. It's nothing for what this is giving you. It's literally 110 Rand. So guys, I'm telling you right now, it is so worth it to actually get. I am not an affiliate with Canva, but I have been using Canva for many years, and I really recommend you get it. So I just want to go back to my profile there and let's get into it. So as you guys know, today is part 8 of my absolute Canva crash course for beginners, and I would love to actually get to my homepage. Okay, I'm still waiting for it to load. And I thought about this yesterday, and I thought, my goodness, there must be people out there like me that are actually wondering, oh, well, now I've made a sale in my business, and now I've got to create an invoice, right? So I'm going to show you guys why I love Canva so much, because I'm just really literally going to say invoice. So now, you can actually go type in invoice, or you can say, you can see that they come up with different ones here, right? So freelance invoice, there we go. And if you really want to, you could also just type in A4 and then search invoice under templates. But this would be the correct size, because we will just be mailing the invoice to whoever is buying from us, right? Now, the amazing thing about this is you know what your email signature looks like, okay? So what I would do is, because Canva has such an amazing feature of capturing the thingies for you, I would go back to my email signature that I created, because remember, we started everything from the email signature. And this is the signature that we have been working on since we started. Now, for yesterday, remember, we did the YouTube, and that's why we have the lines there. I'm just going to remove them quickly. And what I'm going to do, you don't have to remove it to copy it, but I'm just removing them. I'm going to just say Control C, which is copy, and I'm going into my A4 design here. I just want to make sure, yes, so I'm going into my A4, and I'm going to just paste my email signature in there. It is Control V for those of you who do not know. So now, straight off the bat, I've got all of the elements that I need to be able to make my invoice consistent with my look and feel, right? My brand. This is my brand. And if we can all remember that we've got our brand kit in here, and the background was the light gray that we used for the email signature right there. That does not mean that everything has got to be that same look and like everything's got to have the same, but I like to really stay consistent, because it really creates your brand, and people start to recognize who you are, what colors you like to display in your brand. So I'm going to say add page, and I'm going to keep that information up top there. So then we are going to designs, and I love Canva, because here we go. You do not have to sit and align stuff. You do not have to wait, like take 2 hours to sit and create your own thing. Literally, guys, there are so many templates in here that you can choose from and make them your own. So obviously we're looking for something more or less that's going to fit to what we have here. So I'm just going to scroll through, and if anything catches my eyes, you can go with something very simple like this as well. That is very simple. I do like the thank you at the top. That is amazing. It always is nice if you receive an invoice and somebody actually thanks you for making a payment. Then let's see. Here's maybe one. No, that would not fit with what we have. So I'm kind of looking for something that would maybe fit with what we've got, but also something that's going to be simple for me to edit, right? I don't want to have to make too much, changes every time that I create an invoice for somebody. Now, you do get better programs out there that you can do your invoicing through. You do not have to do it this way, but I kind of like Canva, and I do everything with Canva. So for me, I just wanted to make this tutorial today to show you guys how you do it through Canva. So I would definitely want something that has the blocks in it, because it is a little bit easier to keep everything aligned when you go that route. I actually think that one is not too bad. So okay, so the first thing we would do, and this is what I said when I said the blocks, right? Now you can see that you have got, okay, I see they've actually built this. It's not actually the block, but it's fine. So let's work with this one. So the first thing that I would do is I would go to my brand kit and see what is the potential with my colors with this particular invoice, right? Now I do not really want the green in there because there's no green in my invoice. So obviously this green is something that is it's not an element that you can change the color of. But like I said yesterday, there are ways to get around that. So if I go to edit photo, I can actually now go and I can put that in, and that's like more of a gray, which I do have gray in my colors. And let's just see what else they give us. That one looks a little bit more gray, which probably is a little bit better. Let's just go back to that. There's another one. I just want to see that it's actually applying it. Let's just see. There are two layers here. Edit photo, and I'm just literally showing you guys with the filters at the moment. Like I said, there are other ways to do this that I will be making tutorials about when you start incorporating apps into Canva. But for the purposes of keeping this simple, I want to show you guys just quickly how we can literally do this and change it around. So there's a little bit of blue, right? So we've got blue, purple, here's blue, there we go. Just see. I'm wondering if I shouldn't change this one. So guys, you can literally play around with it a little bit. Try and get it more to look like your colors. Now if we go up, we've got that very nice blue and very bright purple that we're using with the gray and the white. I don't think that this one actually looks more green, right? Okay, so let's not use that, And let's say that I'm looking for something like this, but I'm not looking for, I'm looking for an element that is actually going to allow me to change it to my colors. Okay, so I would just then delete that, and I would go to Canva, and I would say top border curves, maybe, just whatever you think that design could be described as. And then you will see that Canva literally throws out a ton of stuff. Okay, so I would then go and I would think, let's try this one. Now that one, oh, there we go. So we found one. Okay, so let me get it. We found one now that actually allows us to change the colors, right? Now this is amazing, because I'm going to show you guys just how amazing this is going to look when we have done this now. And guys, there are tons of them. Literally, there are tons of them. Now, if I had to go in here and I had to go and apply my own colors, you will start to see that literally, guys, this starts to look like your brand now, right? And that actually looks pretty cool. I like that. Okay, what we could do is we could maybe change the I actually like this one, so let's make a duplicate of it. And that just means that I've just copied that because I might want to keep that. But if I play around with this a little bit, and now, like, literally, I can do this myself, like I'm doing currently. I can say, okay, well, what about if we take the gray and we threw the purple in there, which the purple is just kind of like a little shadow, right? Let's see if we did the purple in there. Even that looks nice. Now, I really actually like the purple. It is amazing. The purple, even, I mean, that even also looks nice. But my point right now is that if you then went like this, just copy everything, go to your brand kit and say shuffle, then it will do it automatically for you. Okay, it will go and give you, I think, 10 to 12 different options of what you can actually do with this invoice, and how you can actually, just because you've now thrown in an element that actually is a vector element, it has the ability to change colors. Yeah, so I kind of like that. I actually really do like the purple, it is something that stands out. It's pretty. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So what I would do is, let's use the purple. I would say Control C for copy, and I would say Control V for paste, right? Now we've got another one of these. Now what I'll do is I would flip it, because I obviously want it to now be at the bottom, and I would also flip it the other way around, because it just gives you that nice creation of, you are, it kind of like looks like you completing the circle, if you kind of get what I'm saying. So yes, so that's a little tip or trick or tool that you can use. So let's work with this one, guys. Okay, so we still have all of this stuff here. And as we saw here, our main font was in blue, so I would stick to that. Stick to what you chose in your email. So the main font was this blue, and I would stick to that. So my invoice would be blue. This, I would probably stick to my blue, right? Because you want consistency. And then also, let me just remember, I've placed this element over this text right here. So you go to position and you say backward, and make sure that it's right to the back so that you can work with this stuff right here. And I would probably make this block blue too. And there we go. It's looking nice and consistent. Maybe because that's a total, I would actually go and use, you see, you guys, you can choose whatever looks good to you. I don't really like the black in there, but we do have black. So maybe let's leave the black there because it kind of brings it, makes it nice and visible. You know, you want people to see what must they actually pay you now. Okay, so let's zoom in on this and let's actually go and look at this. Guys, they've got it, everything's laid out for you, right? You don't have to worry about, you know, everything is there, literally everything is there, and you'll see. And if it's not there, you can just go to another template and look for whatever you're looking for. So obviously we're going to start off with invoice number. Now just like here, they've started off with 0 1 2 3 4. Now what I always do is I go 0 0 0, and I always start with 10. Okay, so obviously the next one would be 11, and the next one would be 12, and the next one would be 13. So obviously what you would do, let me just push this page down because you would we are just keeping this for reference sake if we have to copy and paste or anything like that. Now the first thing I would do is go and check that this is Montserrat. This is Montserrat Classic at the moment, and I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for Montserrat, and it's blue, and that is the very same font that we are using here. Right, so because we are also not using invoice like that, I would go and make it exactly the same as what it is. It does not have to be the way that they make it. Now we've changed that, and then you can obviously change your date. Every time that you change something, you would have to change the date. Now I've got a little trick that I always do for myself, especially with invoices, where you've got to always put in different stuff, different information. So what I would do here is I would just to remind myself that I don't miss something when let's say I have to do 5 invoices today, and you know I have to run through 5 invoices quickly. What I always do on my invoice template is I would go and I would make this a completely different color so that I can remember I have to change that before I send this invoice out. This is another thing that would have to be changed before I can send it out, right? We want to just this is something that I do just on my template. Obviously when I'm done and I've put in the right invoice, I've put in the right date, then I will make it black again, right? Okay, so now we're just going to literally fill in the information. Bill to you can ask them if they want the full address in there. If they don't, then you would probably end up saying like let's say Potchefstroom, and it's South Africa. It doesn't matter as long as you are just putting the information in there. And I would actually, because you're billing to, I would actually say put in the name of whoever you're sending this to. And for just the sake of using a name, we are still using Ann Gables. I don't know who that is, but we're using that. Then we go to payment information, right? We are going to fill in the bank name. There's actually the name of the person. Now guys, you can change this. You know, this is going to be the information, the bank account details that they've got to pay the money into for you, right? So this is your client's information, bill to, and payment information. Where must the client pay this into? So you can change this up and you can say bank. If you were in South Africa, we would probably say something like, oh my goodness, ABSA, and we would probably then say it is whatever account it is, and Gable's account. So now we've got to actually change this name. Let's say it is Dana. Whoa. Okay, let's use Diana Reeve or something, whatever. I'm just coming up with names here. So now ABSA, and you've got to make it out to that name and the account number, and obviously whatever information you would like to put in here, guys. If it's not a bank account, then you can also change it. Let me just undo that. Okay, I see. Now I've just undone that. Let me just see. You see, because this is not grouped. So what we are going to do is we're quickly going to group this. The way that you can group this is to select it from the side and group it. Or you can go and click, hold shift in and click, and then group it. And then also this I would like to group, and the reason I would like to group this is because I would like to space this, right? So now let's say I want to put more stuff in here, and there we go. You click on that one, and then you can actually move it. It's giving me the ability to move it up, right? So I want to put more information in there, but there isn't space, so I've got to make space for more information. So I select all of them, and because they are grouped, I can go to position and I can say tidy up and left align for me. Okay, I just want to make sure. So I would say shift control, and then it is left aligned because you can't select it. It is left aligned. I just wanted to make sure that it is still. Then I can say Control C, Control V, and I literally copied it, and you can put your information in there, guys. And if you have to put more information in there, you can literally go group this entire thing, and you can then go and click. Remember I said if you want to move the entire thing, you click on the outside box. Let's just do that. And okay, so I can actually move this. So now I would keep it kind of in the middle. You can even align it to the side if you want. If you want this information to be aligned to the other side, you could even do that, but I wouldn't do that because these are not in the same text boxes. But obviously you will now put in your payment details in there. Okay, so now you've got item, description, rate, an amount. And I mean, everybody knows that this is very simple. So what we will do is let's say they have bought the 600 package from you. I would actually take this out, because in what we are currently doing, and the reason that I'm making these videos for, we would be selling one package at a time, right? We're not selling two packages at one time. So our template would basically only be for one package, right? So I would make that a little bit smaller, and I would then want to just maybe bring that down, or kind of get it in the middle. So then what do? We click shift and click, and we group it. And now I want to show you guys how I'm going to get that in the middle. So I'm going to click on this element here, then I'm going to click on that element there, and I'm going to click on that element. And while I did this, I was holding in shift because I wanted to select all of them. I don't know if this is going to work, because it might not align it to the bottom one, because it's not really the end of the. It's hard to explain this, but sometimes it doesn't really work out the way that you want to. But let's see. If I say middle, no, so Control Z. So if I say tidy up, yes, it kind of did what I wanted, but it moved that thing out of order. So all I can go and do now is I can actually move my bar up, and there we go. So I think that is pretty cool. And here we've got our product. I still don't kind of feel that it's in the middle, so I would then just maybe, there's another feature that Canva has where you can hold shift in and drag something, and it would actually then show you, okay, 6.4, 6.4. So that is actually the middle. But if I look at it with my eye, I'm still not happy. So I would bring it down one. There we go. Now I feel that that is in the middle. Okay, so in our line and what we are doing, we would then probably type in here, you have just bought one item of the $600 Pro Digital Marketing course, and you can put in whatever you want there, and the rate is $600 and the amount is $600. There we go. I would even take rate out. I mean, that is just not actually necessary in this, tutorial, or in this particular, invoice that we're making out. And then obviously there will be no tax here, and subtotal I would probably make bold, and I would then just type in my 600. Now guys, for our specific products that we have in our digital courses, we've got only 4. So what would I do? I would copy this and I would actually make 4 different templates, and I would then go and say, this one is my $600 template, invoice template. Remember, I always encourage you guys to name what your design is, right? So I would then go here and I would make sure that it is also the same, total $600. And I feel like I just want to align this with that one and maybe bring it to that side, and there we go. So terms and conditions, if you have any terms and conditions, you can put it in there. I would just take that out because I don't really have terms and conditions. And there we go, guys. That is as simple as it is to make an invoice for this business. Now, obviously, invoices can be more complicated if you want to start adding VAT and tax and all these things. Now, guys, if this is going to always be your 600 template for, you know that you don't have to change that, but I'm always going to have to change the name. So I would go and make that red. And my payment details are probably not going to change. So I would keep that the same, because it just depends on where in the world this particular client is buying from you. But you can figure that out and even make different templates for different payment informations. Okay. So basically, guys, that would literally be my that would literally be the invoice that we would then send to our customer, and they would, I just want to take this down quickly because it just seems better if it's there. And there we go. Literally, here we go. There's our invoice. I don't actually like the fact that see, that and that needs to be grouped, and it needs to be selected with that. And if I hold shift in, it will keep it in the same. Oh, let me just select it. If I hold shift in, oh, it doesn't want to work. Okay, so what I can do is I can do that. I see that it is still selecting the bottom one, so I don't want the bottom one to be selected. Let's see if I can move it. Yes, I can move it. And I think that moving it up would just be a little bit better. I just want to check if this is aligned. Yes, it's perfectly aligned. And there we go, perfectly aligned. Now, if this is always going to be my 600 template, then those are the only things I would make red, because it's the only things I would ever have to change, right? Now, I would probably put something like this, just so that I put my own little final touch in here. And, whatever you feel that you want to put into your email, into your invoice, you can add that. And I really actually like this. What I would like to do is group it, maybe make this a little bit smaller and align it with one of the elements in here, so that there's some type of consistency. Even though they might not notice it, I will notice it. There we go. So I kind of like that. And if we want to view that, remember, we go to the full screen, and there we go. There is an invoice for you guys that literally it suits your colors of your brand, and the only reason that that text is red is to remind you when you open this template, guys, you would literally now go out of this. Okay, wait, Control Z. Let me just go back, and I would probably put my email in there for them, so Control C and Control V. Oh, I copied the background. Control Z. Let me just Control C, Control V, and there is the email. And I would probably want to just put my email somewhere in here for them. Maybe right here can work. Wherever you want to put it, guys, you can make it your own. You don't have to put your email in. I'm just thinking of things that I might have missed. I would even bring this up even more. Literally, you don't even need all of those 600s there. You could even take this out and literally just bring that bar up. There we go, and that could be your email. And you can literally go and, whatever you would like to do, you can do anything that you want here. So this is just something that I would do because I think that looks nice. So now, guys, because I'm going to delete this page, and this is now my invoice template, right? So every time I get a 600 sale, I am going to come into this template, and I recommend duplicating this page and calling it your template. Do never ever change your template. You always make another page and you call this whoever would be buying from you, who is Diana Reeves. Okay, so Diana Reeves now. I've just sold the 600 package and I'm going to make an invoice for Diana Reeves. Okay, so what I would do is I would go, first of all, I would make this black because I'm editing it, right? And I would say 11, and I would go and I would say today is January and it's the 11th of the 23rd, and I would go and make that not bold, black, and there we go. So then I would put in Diana Reeves, let's say that is her stuff for now, and guys, there we go. You do not have to change the rest of it. Oh, I see that this is a, you see, like something small like this. So what I would do here is actually, this is because this is grouped now. Okay, so let's fix this. This and this and that, they're obviously not all on the same length. Okay, so first of all, I would say shift and select all of these ones, and I would then first of all bring them all to the left, and now I'd go to position and I would right align them. Okay, now the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to show you guys now, is so that I can actually get to this side and I can actually make it a little bit smaller, because we want it to be fitting in everywhere on the same size, right? So you'll see that it'll capture where you have brought this one. If you're struggling to do it like that, you can also do it like this, and you can then bring all of them in. So guys, this is what I'm saying, is it can be very time consuming to design an invoice, but if you've got your template and your template's right, so now I would just select all of them again. They are now all aligned, and I would just put them back. There we go. Okay, so that information will always stay the same, because that's your bank information. I kind of like that. I don't know if I want that to be bold. I wonder if I don't want to maybe, you see, this is another thing now. We never changed the text. So we changed this text, but we never changed this text to Montserrat, right? And remember, our font in our branding kit is Montserrat. Okay, so we would then change this to Montserrat, and we would change this Montserrat and change this, and because these are, I'm just gonna show you guys an easier way to do that would be to just literally use the copy style. That, remember that account is just because I made an extra one, because I know that we'd probably have to add more information there. If you don't, you can just go and delete one of them. Now I take the bold off of that. So there is a little bit of work involved if you really want to make it perfect. But the great thing about this is you are never, ever, 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 ever going to have to change it again. So there we go. We're also going to change this to Montserrat, and that looks better. And we're just going to go through and change everything to Montserrat. This is our, there we go. And we want this, and okay, so copy style and copy style, and that is copy style, because this is also bold. So now what it's done is it's made it black because it copied exactly that style. So I'll just have to go and make it white again. And put it back in its place. And then we still have these ones to do, Montserrat and copy style. Remember that it copies exactly the style. So now these are not aligning anymore, which is okay because we can fix that position, and we left align it. And this one, I would just say capital I. Bring in your text boxes so they don't go over each other. And I would also recommend to align these text boxes. First of all, left align them, then make sure that they are actually the same width, because that makes a difference when you are working with alignment. Okay, so then we go there, and we're literally just going to make sure that they are aligned, and yes, they are. And we are going to make this a D, and the A is going to be an A. And we see the same issue here. We're going to left align them, and there we go. So I think these need to be a little bit bigger, like maybe 13, just for the sake of actually being able to see what you're doing there. There we go. And now we just have to check the alignment again, and it is fine like that. Those ones are fine, and there we go, guys. Okay, so because we've made so many changes, I'd actually bring this block in a little bit. No need for it to be so huge. There we go. And there we go. So this would actually now be our new template, because this is actually the correct, everything is the same, right? Okay, so this would actually be our template now, because we've made actually all the other changes that we were supposed to make in the first one. And I would then go up and I would delete this one, and I would just go remind myself what here needs to change by making, let me just remove some of these lines quickly. This is why it is so amazing when you get already made templates for you, because you literally have just created an invoice that you can use for the rest of your life, and you're just going to literally, I'll show you guys how to copy it now. If this is my template, let me just duplicate this. If that is my template, then this would be my very first invoice, and it would be for Diana Reeve. I don't know who that is, but for the purposes of this, she exists. Okay, so I actually don't like the fact that this is like that. I want it like that, which means I'm going to have to change this to there, and I'm going to have to also change that. So there we go. So that is a very, very simple invoice, guys, and this is now my template for my $600. Now I've also got a $300, so I'm going to go, oops, not to home. It is okay if you press the wrong stuff, because you can never ever lose your work in Canva. So you will see that this now says 600 invoice template, which enables me to actually go and search for my $600 template, because when I search it, it will immediately come up. All right, there we go. So we'll immediately be able to open it up again if I search it, because I named it and I know what it's called. So there we go. That is my template. What you would do is you would go to File, and you would just say make a copy, and it literally will make the exact copy for you. Okay, so we've got product number 1, $600. We've got that invoice made. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and say, well, this now is product number 2. It is the $300. And what would I have to change in here? First of all, I can delete this because Diana bought a 600, not a 300. And what do I need to change in here? And the only thing I would have to do is change the amount, right? So there we go. And literally, there we go. That is it. So now you've got, you can take copy of, it'll always put copy of because you've copied another template, and you can just copy the $150 and the $50 package as well. So guys, I really hope that helped you. There is one more thing I want to show you quickly. If you don't like these colors, you can always go back to the brand kit, which I love so much, and you can go and play with it and shuffle, and if you like that more, you can use that. There is so many things that you can do when you are just, you know, if you set up your brand kit, guys, literally you can play around with it, and as you see, it changes and it gives you many different variations and options and stuff. It is just important to try and get all of the elements in there that are like these. You know, they can change color. So yes, that's my tutorial for the day, and I really hope that I've helped you guys, and I send lots of love and blessings, and I will see you guys tomorrow again with a new tutorial.